Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Undead Unluck episode number 11 reaction. Alright, the previous episode, it was the day of the results. Apocalypse came in and he gave us the results. It was going good up until the very end. There was one mission that we weren't able to complete, which was, I think, finding... what was it? Finding Unseen or something like that. I forgot what it was, but it was connected to Unrepair because they kind of deduced by the end that it was because of Unrepair that they weren't able to get Unseen, because like everyone who was going to take care of the mission ended up dying. So like that was the whole thing. So one mission we failed and the whole thing is just all over. Another penalty we got, and this time the penalty was the addition of the galaxy. I was thinking, how is it a penalty? Addition of a galaxy, how can that be a penalty? We got our answers. There being a galaxy means there can be possibility of aliens, and if there's possibility of aliens, that means there's a possibility of them invading you. And they were literally in the moment, in the midst of getting into an alien invasion. But what's her name? Juice took care of it using her power, which was Injustice. Yeah. And it was a crazy episode. A few other things we got to see. For example, every language has fused together now. There's like all the languages like a universal language now, which is English. And a few other things happened. We got to know the locations of a few other characters. Also, another big thing got revealed. This was the 99th penalty. The 100th penalty is fine. The 101 penalty is Ragnarok, the end of the whole world. So there's only one chance we have left. One more chance to fail, and then the next one, everything's over. So all these revelations we got, and stuff like that. So let's see what happens in today's episode. This is episode number 11. Yeah, let us begin. Okay, I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah, another seed got added. I forgot about that. And we need to fill it as soon as possible. We need Unrepair. Yep. Oh yeah, Tatiana's joining them. Fuko's going with him. Oh god, what's happening? September 8th. Rio de Janeiro, okay. Yeah. Why are they in a beach? No, what? Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. Where's Tatiana? uh. Yeah. Ritzy celebrity. Okay. Oh, I just got to know we're getting 24 episodes for this, isn't it? So I was thinking it's going to end after this. So no, another 3 more months. That's great. I'm very happy about that. Oh boy, this story is so good. One of the most unique settings like that I've seen in recent shonen. This is a shonen, isn't it? I think so. In recent shonen, this is probably one of the more interesting stories. It has so many like completely like new settings, like something that usually it's not like that. There's a sense like there's a little bit of mystery in this whole thing as well, which really spices up the whole formula. You know, usually it's just fighting, like getting stronger, fighting, getting stronger, defeating enemies. It's like the same, like repetition. But having a little bit of mystery and unknown elements makes it so much more better. I just, after watching this show, I just realized that. Okay, let's see. Few hours ago. Hmm. Auction that deals with negator. I see. Where's Tatiana? Operation's been busted before. Right? Hmm. Luxury not talking. Yeah. And repair is there. Hmm. Okay. That's why they're like dressing up. You have to become celebs. Eh. Oh my god. Well, what that wasn't that was oh my god. Oh. Hmm. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh god. Hmm. Where is she? I don't see her. Hmm. Innocent people. Hmm. Yeah, I can see that. But, yeah. Damn. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. 8 out of 10. Oh, God. Yeah. Perfect then. Oh boy. She's freaking out. Oh, I guess because of all. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, the big one. um. What? Yeah, I don't think he's. Oh no. Yeah. Okay, not the time. Why did he take out her? Oh, to stop her. Full armor. When? Oh. Oh my god. Oh no, what's going to happen now? Yes. Damn. Yeah, nice ball of yarn. Oh, he eats it. That's funny. Yeah. Singular unlock upon. I see. Wow. Victor? Bro, where's your legs? Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Damn, the water. Is his leg has his leg regenerated? Oh no. Oh no. He just touched her. I was wondering where she was. There she is. Oh, so she just dropped down here. She didn't come with them. Yeah. Makes sense. Hmm. What? Ah. Oh, okay, that's good. Wow. That is crazy. What the? What was that? Who's walking? Oh, that's okay. That's them. Damn. All right. Here we are. Okay. Hmm. Oh, it's morning. Departure from port. Not morning, but midnight. Damn, it looks like we're like swimming in like a sea of stars. Yeah. Wow, that is a very interesting statement. There you go. We are in. Cryptid. What? Yeah. Aliens? Oh. What the hell? They eat them? That is weird. What the hell? Oh, I guess it's like a whole like underground auction. That's what they're selling off. Oh. Oh wow. Okay, that makes sense. There you go. That makes sense. Damn. I was just talking about this in the previous episode. I was like, what will people, those thinkers do who cannot speak English? They cannot speak. Hmm. Damn, a lot of negators got caught because of that. Ugh. Ooh, that is. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Killing the source god. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's like the most extreme one. Like, Hmm. Yeah, I can see that. Is oh, that's him. Unrepair. Pretty boy. Latla. Oh, so she's like clairvoyant? What the hell? No, he's unrepaired. You cannot stop the bleeding. Whoa! What in the? This is a whole new organization, or like a group, a small group. Yeah, the negator that they're trying to auction out. Wait, so her oh, her clairvoyance goes wrong. That's why when she saw that said that he'll die, he didn't die. Hmm. Okay. So her fortune telling goes wrong. Oh, that's Tatiana. Yeah, zombie. Yep, the negators. Four of them. At least two, yeah. Hmm. Oh, negator hunters. Quite a later. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what a help got. Oh. Hmm. Hmm. Right. We have we have come across these guys now. There's four of them. As they said, two of them are definitely negators. Two are probably not. Or maybe they are. Who knows? You know. Oh, but no. Wait. Yeah, two of them are definitely negators. Unrepair is a negator. That guy who speaks Chinese, he's also a negator because he cannot speak English. If he was a non-negator, he would be able to speak English. I think. Yeah, because non-negators, they like their language are unified. Only the negators won't be affected. That's why he's definitely a negator. Those two are definitely negators. I don't know about the girl. Her name is Latla, Not sure if she's a negator. She seems like a negator because oh, you know what? I feel like if she's a negator, I feel like I can guess what her power is. Latla's power is probably I was going to no what can it be? Unfuture? No, no, that sounds weird. Um, Something related to like clairvoyance or like like looking at the future. She negates that, and that is why whatever she sees, it probably doesn't come true. I think it's something like that. I'm not really sure what. Okay, that's it. I'm not sure what it is. Obviously, it's something with but what? You know, by look from the looks of it, Unrepair asks her that, "Oh, you think I'll die?" She's like, "Yeah." It's like, and I can see that you'll die. And then he's like, "Oh, then I'll never die." And then I won't die. And does that. So her clairvoyance or her fortune telling, future looking at the future, goes wrong. And I'm guessing that is probably her power. She negates that. And since she negates that, the opposite happens. I don't know. If she's a negator, that's probably her power. Not sure about the big guy though. You know the big guy? If he's a negator, I'm not really sure about that. But we'll have to wait for the next episode to see. And yeah. So okay, this episode, we are in a new mission. Our new mission is to get our hands on Unrepair. Yeah, obviously, like we have to fill up our seat, otherwise it'll be a problem. We cannot get new quests. So that is our goal, and so that's why we are here in Rio de Janeiro, and we are infiltrating this under what's that called, underground auction thing. And yeah, so here we get to meet the negator hunters. I think that's what they are called. And these guys, their goal is to take revenge against the world. Now, I'm not really sure what that means. So, but I'll guess that they are trying to take revenge against the world. That would mean they're trying to, but by taking by taking the negators and killing the negators off who are not really helping them out, and making use of the others that are usable. That's what they said. That's what they're doing. So right, I'll have to wait for a little bit. Like they did say that their goal is to take revenge against the world, but we don't really know the details of that, what they want to specifically do. Do they want the destruction of the world? If that's what they want, then that's going to happen. If we fail another quest, the world will literally get destroyed. Ragnarok will happen. So not really sure if that's what they actually want, because revenge against the world kind of like, I feel like, means that yeah, you want to teach the people of this world a lesson. But by doing that, if the world gets destroyed, is that okay? Because they'll also die then. So these few questions I have. So I'll just wait. I'm sure they themselves are going to explain what their actual proper goal is. Like revenge against the world is a bit too vague. I need a little bit more clarification into their goals. So let's wait for it. I'm sure they'll properly elaborate. But now they're here, and yeah, we have to go against them. So I'm trying to think. Not. I'm trying to see that what Unrepair's ability. Obviously, it's from the name you can probably guess it's Unrepair. If he attacks someone, if he cuts someone, maybe they cannot stop the bleeding. They cannot repair themselves. That's what it seems like. But then there was that one part, you see, where he don't even know what he did. He Okay, this is another thing that he does. Like, I don't know what it is, like, but his eyes bleed or something, I don't know. So we saw this before as well. Yeah, his eyes bleed, like from at least from the eye. It seems like it's from the eye. Bleeds, or it like blood comes out. In the previous episode as well, we saw that, and in today's episode we saw that, and he licks it, and so then he just cuts their heads off. Right, and they cannot stop bleeding. So there you go. So yeah, his power is pretty self-explanatory, unrepair. Like you cannot repair the bleeding or something like that. I'm guessing. Oh wait, another thing. Feng, the one in the hood, name is Feng. Rip. Oh, they call him Rip. Repair Rip. Yeah, so that guy is definitely a negator. The fact that he cannot speak English is plenty enough proof that he is a negator. Because if he wasn't a negator, he would be able to speak English. So yeah, that's he is a negator. So yeah, repair and unrepair, and these two are definitely negators. I'm pretty sure Latla is also a negator. Not sure about the big guy though, but let's see. Okay, this part I'm going to read. Okay, the difference lies in their objectives. We of the Union seek to kill God in order to be freed from the rules. Yeah, while they, on the other hand, they seek revenge against the world. Okay, like I said, it's still not clear what she means by wants to take revenge against the world. Like that could literally mean anything. But like it's pretty obvious that they're not good guys. You know, at least for now, because I don't know. I'm like I've seen the opening plenty of times. In the opening, we can literally see these two. Like Unrepair and Lakla together. So I'm guessing they're going to join us. But for now, they are definitely not good people. They are trying to, or it looks like they're not good people. We don't know. Like this show has a lot of twists. Like they kind of give here and there. So like maybe some revelation is going to completely change our mind about them. So let's wait. Other than that, for now, it seems like they are trying to like wreak havoc, and that's what Foucault said, that don't compare yourself or Union to them. They are actually wanting to cause chaos, while you wanted to kill me because I might be a threat to the normal people. So you were protecting the world, while they're literally doing the opposite. So don't compare the Union to them. There's another thing I need to talk about after this episode. This is one thing I feel like we have been like kind of thinking about from the first few episodes. This is one question that I'm pretty sure everyone has thought about. By the looks of it, when like what was her name? Gina? I think that was her name, wasn't it? Gina or Jeannie? What was her name? Whatever was her name, she, in her episode where we saw her, you could see a big question kind of comes up, and there's like one thing that she always says, that she regrets being in the Union and the things that she has to do. From that we got the impression that the Union might be a bad organization. And that is why I was kind of intrigued by seeing that, oh wait a minute, so these two, Foucault and Andy, are literally joining Union, which is supposed to be a bad union, a bad group. But then after joining the group, we realized that things aren't really as easy as it seems. Yeah, the things that Union does are not really good, but at the same time they're doing it for a reason, and a very important reason, that is to stop the destruction of the world. So they're kind of in the gray zone, I'd like to say. Like there's a few things, as they said, that they're doing that's definitely not good. And they kind of talk about that here in this episode as well, where Foucault and Andy were talking about this, and Foucault was saying that, oh, the person who's going to be sold in today's auction, what do you think? Like if they survive and like if we bring them in, you know, is it is it like good for that person that we're bringing him to union, or will that person have a better life if someone else buys him? Like what Foucault's trying to say is that the people are like the negators, be it the UMAs, the things that we are capturing and bringing with us, they are not really, like it's not really a good thing. Like we have our uses for them, like we're literally capturing the UMAs and keeping them, and a lot of other things we are doing. So that's why we're in the gray zone. So like this whole question that came up while watching the first few episodes, that is union a good or a bad organization, you know it has the answer is like in the middle. So basically it's in the gray zone. They are doing something, obviously doing a lot of things which can be considered a little bit, you know not a little bit in the negative, like morality. However, the reason why we are doing this is something that is we're doing this for the greater good, that kind of thing. Like we're sacrificing the few to like save the many, that kind of situation here. Like we're in the moral gray zone. So like this is one thing that again gets discussed in this episode, and that's very interesting because like it's just that I don't know, like also another thing, what, there's a lot of questions. I'm just thinking about a few things, and there's like a lot of questions that I feel like still haven't been answered, and I cannot really say anything. For example, another question popped up in my head. Like these people, these union guys, we've seen like we have like 11 seats now, and we know we have like our whole group is pretty big. We have like a whole big place filled with like UMAs and everything. Everyone are like kind of stored in different places and everything. Juice is supposed to be the leader of this whole group. Like, is there anyone else working behind Juice? That's my question. Like sometimes in big organizations, like obviously there's a leader, but then there are people who are like kind of like in a very big positions, and they kind of work from the background, and they're like very important, like that kind of thing. Is any of that stuff happening, or is Juice actually like the leader of the whole group? Like what I'm trying to say here is, like, for example, all right, here we go. I'm going to bring up another anime. It'll be an easier way to try to explain what I'm trying to say here. If you have seen Bleach, what I'm trying to say here, that in Bleach, obviously the main, like the captain or the main head obviously was Yamamoto Genryusai, and even though he was the leader, you could say, there were equal powerful people working behind him, which was the Central 46. That's what I'm trying to say here. Like Juice is the leader here, you can see that pretty clearly, but is there any type of an organization like the Central 46 in Bleach that is working in this situation as well? If I bring like an example of another show, which is Naruto, maybe, what's his name, Danzo's group, the one who worked from the shadows, they were pretty big and pretty important as well. Those two elders who were also like, Tsunade was the Hokage later on, but those two elders who were working, they were pretty important, even though Tsunade was the leader. Those type of people, I'm wondering, even though Juice is the leader here, is there those type of people working here as well, like a similar big like like are important people who is working in the background behind us and who we don't know? Like these type of questions are coming to my head. We don't really know. For now, all we know is like Juice is the leader. But why I'm bringing this up is that, like I've said this before, like I've been seeing this show, and like I cannot really think of Union as a what can I say, like a bad, or not bad, but like a morally gray type of organization. I cannot really see them like that. Yeah, they might be doing some things like not really good here and there, for the greater good. But seeing these people, I feel like what Andy says here, like where Andy says here that, yeah, you know what, my vote is with the union. I'm kind of in the similar, like mindset. But Foucault, like Foucault is saying that, yeah, I can understand that, but like the union is also not really doing, like, where's that part? You know what, I'm just going to go to that part and read that part. Like, there's very few interesting things that Foucault brings up, and these questions are also coming to my head, and I'm really like agreeing with Andy. The way Andy looks like it, I have like a similar opinion to it. That's why I'm thinking, like, if Juice was the leader, then I guess it's fine. But if there's like some other people also working behind Juice who are equally important, like, then that'll be in something, interesting. Because I cannot see Juice and the all the other members that we've seen in the union doing something bad. I cannot envision them doing something bad. We've seen them for like how many episodes? Like at least like 9 episodes we've seen them. From the looks of it, I don't see any of them being bad people. That's what's bringing in this whole dilemma in me as well, because like the first part of the anime kind of made, like, it went in such a way that we thought that the union might be bad, but then now that we are in this organization, we're seeing that's not the case, and that's what's, like I said, that's what's bringing this dilemma in me as well. And I feel like Foucault's also pretty like in a moral dilemma, because he knows like that's the thing. Okay, you know what, I'm just going to go to that part where Foucault talks about this. Okay, which is better, bringing them to the union or letting them to be sold off here? There you go, this part. I like, Andy says both are about the same, aren't they? You either die during a quest or become some rich fat cat's plaything. Okay. I wonder what kind of person is being put up for auction tonight. You curious? She says if they're an inconvenience to those around them like me, then they've probably led a hard life. Yeah. Okay. Not knowing the logic behind their abilities, not knowing what they should or shouldn't do. So I was about to choose death. Okay, Andy says, I used to think folks who ended up as negators only had 3 courses of their lives that they could take. Okay, accept their ability and lead their life, fall into despair and choose death, or double down and embrace a life of crime. But there's actually a 4th course, and that's killing the source God. There you go. And that is what the union are trying to do. As he says, I met you and joined the union on a whim, but I've changed my mind since meeting them. You don't need to accept, give up, or double down or anything. You can fight. That is why the unions got my vote. There you go. Yeah, I 100% agree with Andy. Like I said, it's like a dilemma. I feel like, like we, the people who are watching this show, like, how did we get introduced to union? Just think about it. We got to know that they experimented on Andy. That's the first thing. A few other things we also got to know, like when Gina came in, Gina talked about how she doesn't like it there. She, doesn't want to do all of these dirty works for the union, all that stuff, So I'll have to say, like, at the beginning, our like introduction to the union was pretty negative, wasn't it? Like, we were like, oh, they experimented on Andy. Oh, like, Gina, like the whole situation with Gina, like, and all that, all these things. We got to see all of that. And then, like, Andy was also in the similar boat. Andy was looking at the whole situation just like we were. Andy got experimented upon and everything. So he also looked at the whole situation in a very negative light. And that is why, he decided to, along with Foucault, to join the union so that they don't hunt them down. And when that happened, I have to say, I was also in a little bit of a dilemma. I was like, okay, interesting. The organization that like experimented on Andy, that Gina talked about, Gina didn't like how they made her do all these, like, morally, like, gray stuff. like all these things, we're joining that organization. I also thought of it like that. And then we joined it, and then we saw all of that. These few episodes happened. And now I'm like, okay, so yeah, I understand. Like, yeah, those were all true. All that stuff that happened. It's not a lie that they experimented on Andy. That happened. That has happened. Obviously, it's also not a lie that Gina and everyone else here, they go on to do quests, and a lot of quests have a lot of things like bad things to do. For example, like there might be a quest where a negator is like maybe someone who's like helping people out, and our mission is to go and capture them. That is pretty morally, like bad, isn't it? So in these type of things, I'm pretty sure Gina was talking about stuff like this, where maybe some people, like there are bad negators who are doing bad stuff. Obviously there might be good negators as well, and our goal is to bring them all in. UMAs as well, all this UMA that we're trying to stop. Maybe there was a UMA that was good, maybe, I don't know. Unlike spoil and all the other, like the bad UMAs that we got to know. Maybe there was a good UMA which was helping people out or something, and we had to bring them in as well. These type of things, I'm thinking, these are like the morally, like like negative and the gray part of this whole thing. So yeah, I know they're doing all of that, but at the same time, as Andy says, like they're doing all of this for a big reason, that is to fight God and ultimately stop all the like bad things that are happening. So we're kind of sacrificing the few to save the many. That kind of situation we're in, and that is why I can understand, and that's why it's like such a dilemma for Foucault, and I feel like a dilemma for a lot of us as well, because I feel like most of us, like who have been watching anime, and especially shonen animes, most of the time the organizations or the groups that we are in, they're very straightforward. They're either good or bad, that kind of thing. Like, there's like a very big distinction between good and evil in shonen animes. This anime, it's like in the middle. It's like a mixture of both. Like, we are sacrificing a few to save the many, that kind of thing. So, but like that's the thing, and that is why I feel like this is quite interesting, this whole premise. But you know what, let's see what happens. All right, that was this episode. I'm going to talk about this episode scene by scene. So in the beginning, we get to see Foucault shopping with Andy. They're in like a shopping center, and Foucault's like looking everywhere, and everyone's like a celebrity or whatever. Foucault's pretty like intimidated by that, and and Andy's like buying like dresses to dress up and go to the yacht for the for the fancy underground like auction. So what happened here is that, so Tatiana didn't come with us. She came later on. First we had Andy came with Foucault on a plane, obviously, and he like briefed Foucault about the whole situation, what they should do. So their goal is to find Unrepair, and Unrepair is definitely going to come here because he's been gathering like negators and all that. And here there's like literally like an auction happening. So their goal is to dress up as celebs and infiltrate. And yeah, that's what they're doing. That's why they're like buying clothes, and Andy's like giving like all like scanty type of dresses to Foucault, and Foucault's like, what the hell is this? But Andy's like, nah, you need to wear these, like, because we have to be ready, so that like the ultimate, we can bring out the like the unluck. We can easily bring out the unluck from you. Oh my god. Anyways, like they're like having that conversation and everything, and here Foucault remembers talking to Jules about this, and Foucault was like, why have you made me one of the like one of the, like, why have you told me to go with Andy for this mission? I might bring them out. I can understand Andy and Tatiana, but I'll bring them down completely. I don't have any power or anything. Yeah, she does have a power, but it's a double-edged sword. So she's like bringing like including me in this. I feel like it's counterproductive, isn't it? But Juice says that, where is that part? Here we go. Juice says that I think you will do good. My justice is to protect this planet and the innocent people who inhabit it. And that is why I decided to stop you too, since you too might be danger to the people of this world. Especially you with your unluck ability. That's why I sent Void and Shen to deal with you. However, after fighting with Victor, I have understood that we might be able to use your ability to fight God. That is why I need you to properly get used to this power. And to do that, you have to go with Andy and you have to like him. Otherwise, it cannot happen. Because yeah, that makes sense. Like her unluck becomes more dangerous and more crazier the more she has affection for a person. So that has to happen. It's a very interesting, her ability is kind of the potency of her ability is connected to her internal feelings, and you cannot really change someone's internal feelings by training. Like Fuko can try to go through a lot of training and stuff, but unless and until her affection for Andy increases, it's not going to work. And you cannot train your affections or your your internal emotions. That has to happen little by little, gradually. So there's no way you can rush this or speed run this. There's no way you can do that. Like we've seen in anime, anime characters, going through training arcs and everything, in Dragon Ball Z, the characters going into the hyperbolic time chamber and training in a very small amount of time and getting extremely strong. None of them can be applied to Fuko, because Fuko's powers, ability, potency, is literally connected to her feelings, and you cannot speedrun someone's feelings. Impossible. This has to happen gradually, and that's why Juice is like, yeah, you have to go with him, and yeah, that's the only way it will work. So yeah, so after that we are here, Rio de Janeiro. We sign up in the hotel and everything, and then we're taking a walk. I love how Andy's like, all right, where's my meteor? That was even though I was the one who kissed you, the meteor hit Victor. It wasn't for me. So where's my meteor? And she starts chasing her. He starts chasing her. Oh my god, this is funny. Fuko's like, all right, I'm going to give do a little bit of unluck on you, but Andy's like, oh, it won't work. My dress is you cannot, if you touch me, we won't be in physical contact. But Clothy was like, all right, just bears open his chest. And then later on, Clothy realized that, wait a minute, if Andy's in trouble, then he's also in trouble. But Fuko's like, don't worry, I'll give you a ball of yarn later on. Clothy sucks on that ball of yarn like a noodle. Oh god, that's funny. Right, so a truck come and hit Andy, and then a combo attack of the shark. The shark starts chomping on Andy and eats his leg. So Andy ends up washing with no legs, washing up on the shore. And then he kind of has a conversation with Fuko. He says that, what, this whole Victor thing, he's like, I feel like he's correct. He is my original, thing. I don't have any memories of my childhood, any of that. So in the future, he might come out again. But Fuko's like, don't worry, I'll use my unluck as many times as possible to bring you back. And that she then brings him up, but then realizes that she's touching him again barehanded, and then Tatiana drops on Andy. Anyway, so here's where Tatiana comes in. I was like, where is she? So she just dropped in here. She didn't, obviously, I guess it makes sense. She cannot really travel in a plane. So she drops in. And okay, so in 7 hours he will be going undercover to board that ship while I infiltrate from elsewhere. And she'll be infiltrating from the outside, they'll be going in from the inside. That is the whole plan. So you two will search for unrepair from the inside, I'll cover the outside. And she gives the necktie to Fuko as well. That's going to help her out. And she says that they have made the whole setting that they are husband and wife, and that's how they're supposed to go in. And then Tatiana leaves. Yeah, I feel like like at first she was very antagonistic towards Andy, but now I feel like she's a lot, like a lot calmed down about Andy at least. Like, yeah. So I guess that's good. I guess like after seeing everything, she probably realized that Andy couldn't do anything at that point. The whole Gina situation. Right. So, okay, they infiltrated the ship, and you can see, and Andy here tells Fuko that do not listen to them. These people, they're nasty people, like, even if they say something, ignore them. Don't try to make a scene. And you can see people talking about, like, eating the UMAs. They call them, what do they call them? Cryptid. Okay, so you see this lady here who's talking to this man. She's saying, I simply must know how that cryptid you won in the previous auction fair was holding like a blob of something. I'm guessing that's a UMA or a cryptid as well. Damn, that is crazy. So, I'm guessing like UMAs who are not really that strong, they're probably taken advantage of and kept as pets and stuff. And some people even eat them, as they say. Like one person here says that, I was essentially thinking of cooking it up sometime soon. Care to partake? Damn, that is nasty. They eat them as well. These Jumeis and stuff. But I guess, like, it's a very weird thing, like, you know what? I don't know. Like, they're talking about eating the cryptids, but at the same time, I'm just thinking, like, like we also eat like animals. So in that way, like, yeah, it's like again a moral dilemma, like, kind of thing. You know what? Whatever. I don't know. But obviously, like, like these cryptids, these UMAs, I'm guessing the UMAs, especially who are weak, like we've seen a few UMAs were very strong. Obviously, they cannot really do anything to them. But the ones who are weak, maybe, they take advantage of them and keep them as pets or kill them or eat them, whatever, all that stuff. Okay, okay, another thing. They talk about the negators. Did you hear? They say a negator is the main item of the auction. Quite a rarity indeed. It's impressive they found one considering how they kill themselves off. Apparently they're easier to find now than before. This is the thing I was just talking about in the previous episode. I was thinking, like, I never thought they were going to address this, but they actually did. I was literally saying, then, what about those negators who can only speak maybe Japanese or Chinese, who cannot speak English? What about them then? Just imagine you're a negator in China. You're staying in China, you're a negator. Everyone's speaking Chinese. You go to sleep, next day you wake up, you see everyone speaking English. You're the only one who cannot understand them because you're a negator and you can only communicate in Chinese. You try to communicate with someone in Chinese and everyone looks at you weirdly. And they're like, what the hell are you saying? What language is that? Just imagine that. I was thinking, like, what about them? We have those, like, translator stuff. We can easily do that. Like, we won't have any problem. What about those negators who don't have that and who only knows one language, which is not English? That is like I was thinking, like, what about them? And I didn't think they're going to address it. They literally addressed it in this episode. And Andy here says that, here we go, the language unification must be to blame for that. So, yeah, all language has been unified. Okay, here we go. The only reason you and Shen can chat now is because of that necktie, remember? Yeah. So with negators that cannot speak English, yeah, everyone suddenly chattering away in English, they stick out like a sore thumb, and people can easily understand that they're negators. That's what's happening. And yeah, this was a question. I had this question in my mind in the previous episode. I didn't think they were going to address it, but actually did. So there you go. And that's the whole thing. So Okay, so here's where Foucault talks about what is like, the whole moral dilemma thing. Like the person who will be sold off here, if you bring them to union, will it be better for them if you bring them to union or if they get sold off here? Which will be better? And this is why Andy says that, before I used to, like, didn't know the whole situation, but now I know the situation. I'm working with the union and I've realized that there's a fourth option. Instead of just going along with these things or dying or fighting against it, we can just fight against God. If we can defeat God, we will be able to make everything, okay again. And the union have made me realize it, and I've realized the union is working against that. So I have my vote for the union. And like I said, I also agree with that kind of, because like it's a morally gray like thing. We are doing some messed up stuff, maybe some shady stuff here and there, but everything is for a reason, and the reason is literally fighting against God and changing and making the whole world a better place. So that kind of thing. Right. So after this, in comes Unrepair with, what was her name? Latia? No. Wait a minute. Latla. Yeah. So he's like, Latla, will I die? And she's like, yeah, you will take a fatal shot on the head. And he's like, oh, that's so. And then he cuts their heads off, and he's like, oh, then I'll not die. Or at first, I was pretty confused. I was like, what's happening? Didn't she say that he'll die? But then I realized when she gets mad later on, she's like, oh, my, like, where's that part? Yeah, this part. Your fortune telling was way off, and she gets mad. Shut your mouth, that was sheer luck. So there you go. So my guess is her fortune telling goes wrong all the time. And that's why when he asked her that will I die, and she said that yeah, you will die, he was like, okay, that means I won't die. So that's literally what it is. If she's a negator, I'm guessing her power will be something like negating someone's future that she's seeing. So whatever she's going to see in someone's future is going to get negated, and the opposite is going to happen. Something like that, I'm guessing. I don't know. But let's see. Let's wait and see what her power is. Unrepaired takes care of those guys. They start bleeding, and then we get to meet these two guys as well. This is one guy who is obviously a negator because he speaks Chinese and he doesn't understand English, which is a very big proof of him being a negator. So yeah, and Tatiana sees this. Tatiana brings this up to Juiz, and Juiz is like, right, so these are the negator hunters. We share the goal of killing God and eliminating all the rules. However, their goal is to take revenge against the world. And Juiz says, like, in that way, you may say that we are kind of similar, but Foucault's like, no, you're wrong, Juiz. The reason you tried to kill me was to protect the people, but these people, they're just killing people for the sake of it. And she says, I know the powers of a negator can be painful and sad to deal with, but even if they are, yeah, that doesn't make it okay to take it out on the world. This thing, this is one thing I've seen in a lot of other animes, and I've talked about this as well. You see like a bad villain character or someone, they they do some very messed up stuff, and then we get to know their backstory, and their backstory is a very sad thing and everything. Yeah, I can sympathize with that, but I cannot sympathize with the fact that having a sad backstory doesn't give you a free pass to do whatever the hell you want to or harm innocent people. That's what Foucault says here, that I understand that negators have it hard. Like I've had it hard as well, but that doesn't make it okay to take it out on the world. And there you go. And she's like, yeah, the union and they are not similar in any way. You tried to kill me to save the people, while these are doing it as a revenge against the world. So, okay, I see, I understand. You know what, a few moments ago I was just talking about, I don't understand what they mean by revenge against the world. So, by revenge against the world, I'm missing they are just people who, since they have been discriminated against and maybe they have been, like have had a very bad time being a negator, they're using their power to get back at those people now, get back at the world or take revenge against the world. I think that's what they mean by taking revenge against the world. Okay. Yeah, and that is where it ended. So there you go. So this is the beginning of another arc, I'm guessing. And this time we have to get our hands on Unrepair. And yeah, it's pretty obvious that Unrepair and Latla will join us because in the opening song we can see those two. So yeah, let's see how this goes. So that is it. That was my reaction to this episode. This is episode number 11 of Undead Unluck. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed, comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, I'll check them out. And that is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Undead Unluck. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.